really interesting filmmakers behind the stories that you will find on the website. So today we're going to be interviewing the filmmaker and the star, and he's a real star, from Lockdown Rock Up, which you can find in Climb 1. Okay, this is your countdown, guys. 3, 2, 1, and you're live. Both of you. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hey, great, thank you.
Can you tell me your names?
My name is Jerome, and I'm currently in Newcastle, actually. My girlfriend's, and this is.
And I'm Nico Hambleton, and I filmed and directed Lockdown Rock Up, and currently in London, unfortunately.
And so I guess you're not doing so great in London.
Say again?
Not doing so great in London.
Oh, well, it's just difficult to go outdoors and get out climbing and things like that. So yeah, it's a bit tricky, but it's all good. It's the way it is.
These Southerners, I don't know.
And you're presumably lapping it up in the peak where you can move around and go outside.
I'm freaking loving it. Yeah. It's actually a good place to be. Yeah, this was all tactical. You know, I preempted this, and so 6 years ago I moved up to Sheffield, and it's the best place to be for a climber for sure.
You knew there was going to be a pandemic.
Yeah.
So you're a star kick as well as a paramedic. That's quite impressive. That's 2 big skills.
I saw into my crystal ball. I've got my crystal ball over here. And I just
wow.
Gazed into it, and I foresaw the future. Yeah.
I can see we're going to get off topic quite quickly. Nico, can you tell me what the film's about? And just hold on 2 seconds. Guys, can we be quiet backstage? Thanks. Can you tell me what the film's about?
So Lockdown Rock Up follows the story of Jerome, and how Jerome's a pandemic, and how he tells his story. Sorry,
Christ.
I can't do it anymore. Done it so many times. Yeah, so he tells his story as a paramedic working throughout the pandemic, and uses climbing as an escape to get away from the pressures and dilemmas of work and stress.
And why did you decide to become a paramedic, Jerome?
Well, in the film, I say it's because I like driving really fast on blue flashing lights. And that's true, actually. It's one of the best bits of the job. The novelty doesn't really wear away. But of course, you know, it's about helping people on a really basic, fundamental level. You know, like someone has an issue, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and you just help them to overcome that. You're there.
Interviewing Nico and Jerome from Lockdown Rock Up, which you can find in Climb 1. We were just talking about why Jerome became a paramedic, and it seems to be the main reason was blue flashing lights and a speeding car. So I think it's appropriate that we move on to Nico.
Nico. Seconding Jerome's comment about ambulances, I became a filmmaker so I could stand in the back of an ambulance whilst he's on blue flashing lights with the camera pointing it towards him. So that was, it's just cool little experiences like that, which is great to do as a filmmaker. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of fell into it, I think, and then just kind of very quickly got addicted to filming.
Addicted.
Yeah, I mean, not as much as climbing, probably, to be honest.
I think we share something.
Go on, Jerome.
Oh, I think we share something there, Nico, because we get to witness things that otherwise are quite extraordinary. You get to witness pretty unusual situations, and being on film sets and so on. I get to see people in really bizarre situations, and it's actually a bit of a privilege, having that kind of insight into the human condition, into the way people operate under pressure and so on. So yeah, it's all those relationships as well that you make with the people whilst you're filming, and especially with character-led kind of documentaries and stuff, you kind of make very good relations with people. I mean, I didn't know Jerome at all before we started filming, so we literally arrived
in I arrived in Sheffield, and you know, not knowing what Jerome was going to be like. I think I'd seen him on Skype once, and so yeah, but it's like that, you know, over the 3 days, actually no, it was probably 5 days of filming, wasn't it, in total?
Yeah.
You know, we basically made a relationship between each other, and that's what's nice, is that now we're kind of, well, I'd hope we're friends for life, but but yeah, just that nice feeling of like connecting with people and telling their stories, and yeah, you get to do that a lot in filmmaking, which is really nice, and probably do the same working on the ambulances as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That really beautiful commonality has just set me up to ask, who do you think has it worse, filmmakers or pandemic? Pandemic? Paramedics?
Filmmakers.
But well, in terms of, at the moment, this is rich pickings for us. You know, business is good for people in the healthcare industry. So it depends which way you look at it. You know, other people's misery is our, you know, that's our industry, that's our work. So yeah.
Is it pretty hard being a right now?
It's different. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, you know, because the only things that have changed are the number of calls that we go to have roughly stayed the same, but we still wear PPE to everything. You know, we're having to wear masks and aprons and then the full like hazmat suits to all the resuscitation calls we go to. So that's different, and the types of calls we're going to are slightly different, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's harder.
And guys, apart from climbing, what do you do to support your mental health, which is kind of one of the key themes of the film?
No comment.
Yeah, I mean, apart from climbing, gosh, I mean, that's a really good question. I don't think there is. Yeah, to be honest, for me, it is climbing. Like when I'm frustrated with a day at work, or just annoyed about something, like the first thing I do is talk to my girlfriend about it, or go climbing. And I can't. There isn't anything else, I think, at the moment right now which would substitute that.
This is going to sound very cliche, but actually, I'm really getting into yoga, and I found that's helping a lot. You know, like meditation and more breath work and meditation and flow, and that's yeah, it's awesome. It's like I didn't really understand it until the more you do it, the more you understand it, and the more kind of you get from it. So I'm definitely a big advocate for that. And
if you're listening and you agree with Jerome, you can join the Kendall live stream Nurture Well series, which means at 7:30 every day there is 45 minutes of free yoga of loads of different practitioners, so you can try different stuff. Nico, I'm going to come back to you. So in lockdown, you couldn't go climbing. So what did you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a difficult time, because you couldn't vent out by going to the walls, and especially living in London, you couldn't even go outdoors once the restrictions eased. Well, I mean, you did, but it wasn't like on a regular basis. But I think a lot of the time it was just kind of trying to call up with friends. Often we do like handball sessions with on Zoom, so 3 or 4 of us. So that was a good way of like talking. But just, I live with my girlfriend. We just talked a lot as well, which was really important, I think. And then and just kind of calling people, really, and then just going for walks as well, which was definitely helpful.
That's so niche, isn't it? Like hangboard Zoom sessions.
It is, but it isn't. Like a bunch of my friends all joined in doing HIIT classes together, just because it's having people.
Yeah.
Time being idiots, it feels better than being an idiot on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, guys, it's one of the most beautiful things about the film is Jerome's narrative. He is talking to us, and it feels really, really authentic. So thanks for that. Okay, we should ask you some more silly questions. What is the best thing about 2020?
The film.
That's a good. Oh, I've taken. I appreciate the UK a lot more now than I ever have done. I think. Like usually, I'm trying to go on a trip as often as I can, but that's largely been impossible. So, yeah, I've just been exploring loads of amazing areas in the UK. Like I'd never been to Northumberland until this year, and now like I can't get enough of it. So yeah, just going to these awesome little out of the way places in the UK.
Yeah,
Not Northumberland's out of the way, but you know what I mean.
yeah, that's a good point actually. Like usually, by now I'd probably be on my 6th trip abroad, and if not more, and it's like this year I haven't done well. I've only been abroad once, and yeah, it's quite nice. We went up to the Lake Districts, which I'd never been before, and it was just really nice. You kind of realise that actually England has got so many amazing, beautiful places as well. But yeah, I think the other thing about 2020 is that you appreciate as well how well this year how you haven't had contact with people, and I think you kind of realise that actually, gosh, like talking to people and seeing people every day, which you usually do, is such an important part of life. And when that's taken away from you, it's kind of quite shocking and horrible.
And do you think that's going to improve your storytelling, Nico?
Sorry, say again?
Do you think that's going to inform your storytelling, that theme of isolation?
Well, I hope not, because I mean, it'd be nice that COVID ends soon. So it'd be nice to start talking about something else. I think.
Fair enough.
The news is covered with COVID stuff all the time, and I think everyone's just a bit fed up with it. And I think it'd be nice to, it was great to make a film about COVID, but it's like, I just hope I don't have to do that again. But yeah,
Our sequel.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh.
So assuming there is a future and there is a January 2021, fingers crossed, what hopes do you have for next year?
I think well,
this was your first film as ED, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first climbing film. Yeah, so and I'd love to make more climbing films and or mountaineering films or skiing films as well. I'm huge. Yeah, so fingers crossed that 2021 will be more about that and maybe less TV work. But yeah, we'll see. I just have to keep every door open right now. Just see what happens and just go with the flow, I think.
You know what? I'm not going to carry your gimbal on those films because it's not like far too much hard work. Carrying a gimbal like up a mountain, carrying it like 10 minutes across the moors to Burbage, that was enough.
Can you describe to people who don't know what a gimbal is, please, Jerome?
Oh, gimbal is like a steady cam kind of thing. So you put your little camera, your SLR.
Why is it pain in the arse to carry?
It's just really heavy. It's very heavy, and we'd never used it. Did we use it on any of the shots? I think we brought it. Like
you're
just
sounding like a tiny bit of a diva here, Jerome. You're like not.
Yeah. Says the climber who climbs 8A. Oh, a gimbal's too heavy.
You know what I mean.
Before we head off, is there anything in particular you'd like to say to the audience?
I would like to say thank you very much for watching it and for enjoying it and for the amazing feedback. It was a total, spontaneous, almost, process, and it was very organic. And I think Nico and I have both really benefited from it and learned a lot from one another. So thank you for everyone who's watched it, and inshallah.
Yeah, that's a great thing to end on. I think. Yeah, just please enjoy the film, and yeah, hope you guys can connect with 2020.
Social distance as well.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for turning up, guys, and dealing with the glitchy tech issues. I hope you have a really nice evening. Can you give the people watching a bit of a wave?
Yeah. Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to turn you off. Thanks very much. Okay, if you've watched, thanks very much. Sorry that we had a few glitchy tech issues. If you enjoyed this session. We've got one coming up tomorrow with Ben Page, who made a beautiful film called Irukali, which is in Age is No Barrier. And if you're a climber in particular, then please look at the features. We've got a beautiful film by Paul Diffley, not Paul Pritchard, that's another guy, by Paul Diffley, who I'm sure many of you will know as a Kendall filmmaker regular, about Edwin Drummond, who's a beautiful poet as well as a rock climber, and also Pretty Strong, which is quite an infamous film now about a collection of women climbers. This evening at 8 o'clock, we go live with the also equally infamous Snow Night, so please check in for the live stream of that. Thank you very much indeed for watching.